Alright, so I want to get into this dream that I had. It was a dream where I thought I was in hell afterwards. When I was there, when I was experiencing this, I didn't think it was hell, or I didn't know it was, based off of me just trying to survive in the place. I've read a lot of hell testimonies where they knew they were there once they got there, but I think I realized after the fact where I was, just based off of the terror. And we'll get into it. So the dream starts off with me and my brother outside of my house in the front yard, and there was these two women, beautiful women, and one of them's wearing this black dress and the other one's wearing like this white dress. So my brother's with me, and he says to the girl in the black dress that I think she's beautiful. And then I say, whoa, I can talk for myself. And I'm like, yeah, you're beautiful. And she just looks at me like, she wasn't interested. So then the dream restarts and the same thing happens, but for some reason I have a Four Loko in my hand, an alcoholic beverage. So, and I'm sitting on this bench, and the two women are there, and my brother's there. And he says the same thing, and then I say, no, I got this. And I start talking to her. And then she comes and sits next to me, and she says, I'm avoiding temptation. I've been trying to avoid temptation. And I could see that she was going through it like with the Lord, like she was talking with him and trying to be better on her temptations and sin. And I could tell she was a good person. So we were talking, yada yada yada, and I was like, wow, like this might be the girl for me. Like she's self-reflective and she loves Christ. While I had a Four Loko in my hand trying to hit on her. But then, so I walked inside, so I had to go grab something from inside. I can't remember what it was, but I just walked inside, started looking through stuff, and then I came back out, and there was like more people there. And there was like this table outside in the front yard, and we were all sitting there at the table, kind of like a dinner or whatever. And there was something just fell off at that point. Like I knew there was like this terror. It was dark outside. There was kind of just this uneasy feeling. And these three guys, I remember, I couldn't recognize their faces, but one of them had like a mullet. I couldn't really recognize their faces, but they just started like fighting each other, and it was like savage. Like they held him down, like how in the medieval times where they had 4 people on each side grabbing an arm and a leg and just like started ripping this guy. And I knew something was off, and I had a gun for some reason, and I shot one. And then this other guy came over the table, and he had a machete, and he started just slicing me, and I fell on the ground. He started stabbing me in my face and then like my chest. And my brothers were there, and they were like trying to help. And then I got up and started running. So when I started running, I immediately was running away from something, and it was like this I could tell it was like this demonic force or something, and it was this woman demon, and she had like her babies or like minions coming after me, and they looked like they had no hair on their body, and they crawled on all fours like a skinwalker, if y'all know what that is. And they could run super fast, like on all fours. They had like spider like limbs, like long limbs, and they could climb up things, and they were super fast. And she was just whispering in my ear while I was running, like, you can't hide. She was just talking to me. So I kept running, and I would see him, and I would dodge, and I would climb super high, and then I got to this place where it was like I thought I was gonna make it out. I kept climbing, and I thought I was gonna make it out, and it was like a mirage, like it was like a trip, like when you look at one of those trippy videos on your phone and it just keeps going, like it just keeps going. It's like an optical illusion. I just kept running, and it was like an optical illusion, and I wasn't getting anywhere, and they were still chasing me. And then I slid down this thing. It was like a bounce house. It was like a bounce house place. And I know y'all are probably like, how can this be hell or whatever? I thought the same thing, but when I woke up, it just all added up. But it was like this bounce house place. And Sugar Sean O'Malley, the UFC fighter, they said he was fighting for his belt against Luke Rockhold in this bounce house like arena. I know it's weird. They don't fight in the same division, whatever. I'm just telling you all the dream of what happened. So they said that they were gonna fight. So I ran down there, and then I just kept running because these things kept on chasing me. So I knew that they were gonna come for me anyway, and I just kept running while they were getting ready for the whole fight. I kept running, kept trying to climb up things and just get out. I didn't know where to go. I just kept trying to climb and maneuver, and then for sure, they all came down there and just swarmed everybody and everything. I tried to climb super high, and then this big, and when I tell you there was no escape, like I feel like this is what hell is. Like, there's no escape for you. No matter where you run, where you try to hide, there will always be a shape-shifting or demon or whatever to come and get you. So I kept climbing, and I got super high in this bounce house place, and this big demon, just the right height, came and found me and got me. And then I ended up in this place where, when I tell you there's no more terrifying thing, like there's like no hope. Like, this is like the last part, but there was like no hope at this place. And I couldn't imagine people being here in this state. So the demon grabs me, and then I wake up. I wake up in this place where I'm wearing a black robe, and I'm looking around, and I'm seeing other people or prisoners in these black robes. and we're in this place. All I can describe it as is a medieval chamber with like green moss everywhere, and the light was like from candle lights, like the yellow light from a candle light's like everywhere, and like fire. We're in this small room, dungeon you can say, like it has like water, creepy type of vibe to it. So I look ahead of me and Sean O'Malley is there. I don't know, Sean O'Malley was there. He just looked a little older. I could tell that it was him. Like, just like the aura or whatever. Like, I knew it was him, but it kind of didn't look like him. Okay, so then one of the demons, while we're sitting there, and it was one of those things where we knew we weren't in the right place. So I'm looking around, and this demon guy is like walking around, like you can say inspecting us or whatever. And he says, when the guy comes in, he says, for the Pledge of Allegiance, when the guy comes in, just have your hands out like this, up. So we're just like doing this. We had this vibe where it was our first day here. So we didn't know what to expect. We just knew that we weren't supposed to be there and that we were just there. Like there was no like time frame, or we were just there and we knew we weren't supposed to be there. So he told us when the guy walks in the Pledge of Allegiance is to just put your hands up like this. So this fat demon looking guy comes in and he says, now for the Pledge of Allegiance for the for Texas, show me what it is. And everybody just puts their hands up like this, listening to that other demon. But he was obviously playing a trick on everyone. And I did this because in Texas we put our hands over our heart for the Pledge of Allegiance, and he said, for Texas, put your hands over your heart. He said, for Texas, he said, rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and he started like singing the song, the Texas Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, say. No, it was the Texas Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, I forgot it. What was it? Okay. I forgot it. But he said, for Texas Pledge of Allegiance, he said, everybody stand. And everybody did this. I did this. The demon was laughing because he knew that he was like, fucking, these people are stupid. This guy comes in, takes out his blade, this blade with like bristles of blades on it. It's like a grinder that you clean stuff with, but he unsheaths it and it's just a million like blades. And he comes up to the first person and just stabs him in the face. And he comes up to me, and even though I did this, he was just like, and stabbed me in my face. And then he went up to Sean O'Malley, and he kind of had this face of like, I was big on Earth or something like that. He kind of had that vibe, like you can't, like I'm Sean O'Malley, like. And then he stabbed him twice. And then he laid up against the wall, and you could just tell, like he was like, "Fuck, this is forever." Like he didn't even care about anything on this earth after that, or what he did, or anything. He lost it all. It just broke him after that. He was just like, even care. Like, I feel like that's how it is. Like, nobody even cares about what they did on earth when you're there, when you're there. Like, they don't even want to be seen. They just want to crawl into a ball and just never talk again. So then everybody was gravitating to this next room over, like the demons and all the prisoners and the people with hoods on. They were gravitating to this next room, and then I fell back, and I was looking at everybody's head to see if they were seeing me, and they weren't. So I ran to the back room. And when I ran to the back room, there was just pits of fire. There was 2 pits of fire just constantly burning, and there were bodies, burnt corpses everywhere. And just, there were like chains hanging from the wall that were like meat hooks. And I tried to run, to hide. I tried to climb stuff. There was nowhere to go. And then I ran into this like closet looking thing. It was stone. It was a closet looking thing, and it was just filled with this liquid, which I knew was like body fluid, like liquid. It was like nasty, but I would do anything to get away from them. Like I said, I just wanted to crawl into a ball and just never speak or anything to just get away from the torment that was to come and that was happening. So I just ran into this closet with all this fluid in it and ducked behind in a corner and just tried to bury myself in this fluid so nobody would see me. And then I was just sitting back there, and then fluid just poured on top of me. And then I woke up. And it all kind of traces back. And when I woke up, I kind of traced it back to the beginning where I was talking to that girl, and she said, I'm trying to avoid temptation and sin. When I woke up, I just kind of retraced the dream because it was so vivid, and I was like, and it was so much terror, and there was no time either. That place has no time. Like I didn't know, like it felt like ages I was in this dream. It felt like ages. And that just tells you like no sense of time. Everything felt so real, like it was just happening in real life. Like it was more real than today. It was one of the scariest dreams I've ever had. It was one of the scariest like experiences, just for how real it was, and there's no sense of time, and the hope and the terror of no matter what, they're gonna catch you. So I woke up, I wrote my dream down to talk to you guys about it. I didn't want to, this is my 3rd time like reliving the dream. So I just wanted to get it on video, and if I end up posting this video, that's cool. I hope people can take this and just realize that your relationship with God is important. And I started listening to, before I went to sleep again, I started listening to God's word before I went to sleep on audio. And there's a lot of things where he says, you know, ask the Father within my name and you shall receive. And whenever you ask, he said, believe and have faith that you received the gift. So, I mean, I believe I'm saved and that I received that from God, from Jesus, in Jesus' name. So I don't think I'm not going there. I don't believe I'm going there, but I did have this experience and I wanted to tell you guys about it. And hope you guys have a blessed day. Thank you for watching this video. Pray for each other in the comments, talk to each other. If you guys had any experiences, let me know. If anything is correlated with my experience to your experience, let me know. Like I said, this was a dream. I didn't think I was in hell when I was there. I may have, but I was so scared and so just trying to get away that I didn't realize it until I woke up where I was, and how that beginning of the dream correlated with hell and the dream. I didn't see Jesus there, but when I woke up, I definitely called to him multiple times and listened to his word on audio. But I want to thank you guys for coming, and yeah, if you have anything to say, or just leave it down in the comments, and pray for each other. I appreciate you guys. God bless. Goodbye.